Guys, 3 to 1. This ratio is so important. 3 to 1. Did you know this ratio was so important? I didn't, but it turns out it's really important. Okay, what am I talking about? Well, there's a great book called Positivity by Dr. Barbara Fredrickson. She wrote it a while back, but she was a psychological researcher. She did tons of research on positivity, changing perceptions, changing creativity levels. And so what she did is she outlined, let me get my notebook. Yes, here it is right here. She outlined the 12 things that we need to do to tip ourselves in this 3 to 1 ratio. So all day long, we go positive, negative emotions. We go back and forth, back and forth. If we're 1 to 1, one positive, one negative, not a great state. It's not a good perception state. It's not a good creativity state. It's not a good attention state or focus state. So it'll be harder for us to get our work done effectively and efficiently if we have a 1 to 1 ratio of positive to negative emotions. So she discussed and advised in her research that we should have a 3 to 1 ratio. So we should have 3 positive to 1 negative. Okay, so she gave us positivity tools. So here's how we keep ourselves in this 3 positive ratio side rather than 1 to 1. Okay. So ready? Okay, so the first one is to be open, meaning giving just the experience permission and time to experience the richness of just the current time. Like today, my husband and I were eating lunch outside, and this little leaf fell down, and it was just a teeny little thing, and it had a little green and a little red, and it's what is it now? It's still July, so the trees should not be losing their leaves in Cleveland, Ohio, but this little leaf fell and it was really beautiful. And I was like, look how pretty this is. Look at the colors in here. And it's just like, this is what she's suggesting. It's just like, be here, be present. I heard a story one time from somebody that took a trip to Japan, and she was sitting in this, I don't know what it's called, like a temple or something, that she was sitting in with monks and, or some kind of minister. And she was on her phone or writing, and he kept saying, be here. And she was like, oh, I want to take notes and not forget this. And he just kept saying, be here. And so I remember that because she was like, that was really striking. And she used that to go and, to think about, she was a psychologist, and she ended up thinking about, this is what we need to do to help people with like eating behaviors or distracting behaviors. And we're going to get to that. But she was saying like people emotionally eat. And so being here, like just be here, not thinking of the worries and concerns that you may have. So it's just interesting that certain cultures practice this in more deep ways that I've heard about. So she also, Dr. Fredrickson also recommended, in order to be more open, is to tune in and to appreciate what's around you. That's number 1. That's the first tool. Okay, so first tool is be open. Second tool is high quality connections. And she defined high quality connections by a researcher. She said a researcher by the name of Jane Dunton defined them. And there's 4 qualities to a high quality connection. Number 1, respectful engagement. Number 2, you support one another. Number 3, you trust one another. And number 4, you play. So it's really good news. So a lot of this is really positive news. Like it's actually fun, right? So you're supposed to go out and have fun with your good connections, your friends, your partner, your family, whoever it is that you have these close connections, maybe your work team. So they said the high quality connections are dynamic, they're life-giving, or they're life-depleting if they're negative. So if they have appreciation, encouragement, energy, vitality, positive feelings with them, then they're those high quality connections. So number 1, be open. Number 2, high quality connections. Okay, let's move on to 3, cultivate kindness. So she recommends, there's a book called The How of Happiness, and she recommended that book. You can check it out. And she said the goal is 5 acts of kindness a day. Maybe it wouldn't take that long. Maybe just like send somebody a quick note or say thank you, but maybe you want to do it for a week and just do 5 acts of kindness a day and just see how you feel. Like see if you feel more positive throughout your day. That would be nice. Okay, so that's number 3. So be open, high quality connections, and cultivate kindness. Number 4 is you could think about, number 4 was distractions. So she said, like, think about your distractions are probably getting your mind off of troubles. So do you have positive distractions or negative distractions? So maybe for a week or two, write down what you use to distract yourself, whether it be the TV, the phone, food, I don't know, gossiping. Positive ones would be like gardening, biking, art, writing, meditation, some kind of movement, going for a walk. Negative would be like chips, TV, social media, like those would be negative distractions. Okay, that's number 4. Number 5 is dispute some of the thoughts. So if you have negative thoughts, they said to get an index card, write on one side the negative thought, like I'm never going to get there. This is never going to happen. This is going to take a long time. And on the other side, write the facts about that thought. It's like, what are the facts? So this is never going to happen. Well, have you ever tried before? Have you I'm building a business. Like now I have a business coach and now I know other people building businesses. So when you put people around you that are positively doing a new action, it helps me to learn, right? So they say that the 5 people that are closest to you determine your future, right? And your health and even your salary. So the people that we keep close to us really matter. But when we're thinking about those dispute cards, if you have a negative thought, just write it down. And then on the other side, write the facts down. Like, are there facts or is just a thought? So be careful because sometimes we'll have negative perceptions. And some of the neuroscience researchers I've heard have said that a lot of times we have those negative perceptions because the brain is like, I'm tired. I don't have the energy to go ahead and do that extra thing. So I'm going to tell you, no, this isn't a good idea. So brains need a lot of support throughout the day. So sometimes it's your glucose level, it's your sleep level, it's your stress level that is keeping you from being willing or to do take that new action or learn something because your brain is exhausted. So also think of your neurometabolic state of the brain. Okay, number 6, find nature. So she said, think about 12 places that you can go to in a minute. Anything that with images of nature, go out into nature, look at nature, whatever you can do, explore it. Even if you're stuck inside, like you're working in an ICU or something, maybe have a picture on your phone of nature or some videos of nature, because nature will bring us into that more positive state. Remember, so our goal is 3 to 1. Okay, so far we have be open, high quality connections, cultivate kindness, just check your distractions out, make sure they're positive. 5, dispute some thoughts, use your index cards. 6, find nature. Okay, number 7 is learn and apply your strengths. So there's many ways to go out and find your strengths. We do this in BrainFresh. Brainfresh.org is my support mechanism for women docs, so they can use neuroscience strategies to live fully in their strengths and their gifts and leave an impact in this world. And so if you want to know how to find your values, how to find your strengths, we do that in BrainFresh. So just give me a jingle. Just send me a DM. But there's many books and resources on this. And then number 8 is mindful meditation. She recommended daily meditation up to 25 minutes or about 25 minutes. It seemed that being quiet, being introspective and settling down and increasing your parasympathetic system, that was very positive. It helped people tilt again into that 3 to 1 ratio, positive emotion to negative emotions. Okay. And then number 9 was meditate on loving kindness. So if you're going to choose a kind of meditation, she saw that meditation with loving kindness was actually more positive for folks. They went into more positive emotions. They had more positive outcomes if they if they use meditations with loving kindness. If you don't know what that is, I always go just on YouTube and search loving kindness meditations. You'll find a lot of options and they're actually really wonderful. And it does work for me. I found it helps me feel more compassionate towards people. Number 10 is to ritualize gratitude. Just notice your gifts throughout the day. So sometimes my husband and I get home from dinner and we say, okay, what are 3 things today that we've been grateful for? Actually, we have stopped doing that. We did that for a long time. And the literature suggests you shouldn't do it every day because you get kind of bored with it, but I think we should do it some days. So thanks for reminding me, guys. We're going to have to start that again because it was nice. I learned more about his day doing that as well. And then she also suggested something called honoring endings. And she said, like, if she's leaving a building, she said, thank the building and the people in it for what happened. Or if when she finishes a lecture, she thanks people. So she's kind of honoring the experience. So I thought that was interesting. I hadn't really heard that one before. And then visualize yourself in 10 years that everything went well. that you are in a place that you could only have dreamed of, and then kind of work your way back and like, what do you need to put into place to get there? So she was talking about, life mission, what's important to you, where do you get meaning from, what's your life purpose, and to ask those really big questions, like why do you get up in the morning, your deep dreams, your hopes, a mission statement. So she goes really deeply into that. But those are the 12 things that Dr. Fredrickson recommended. So we go 3 positive to 1 negative. Okay, so why don't you DM me and let me know which one you're going to try, or which one sounds really hard that you probably will never try. It's okay, there's 12. So she suggests, doing these regularly so you stay in the 3 positive to 1 negative. Okay, and when people are in that, they feel more energy, better attention, better focus, better perceptions. They interacted with people in more positive ways. So it looks like dramatic responses in people's professional lives. Okay. You got this, guys. Okay. It's a great book. It's called Positivity by Dr. Barbara Fredrickson. Okay. And check me out, brainfresh.org. I'd love to see you. And, just send me an email. My email's on there. It's thebrainfresh@gmail.com. I'd love to hear about your current challenges or which of the 12 you think you might try.